Good morning to everybody. Today we are going to see about the interesting topics about PowerPoint on the digital ethics. I am Madhubala from Biological Science. Today we are going to see about interesting topics on digital ethics. First we move on to the introduction part. First, digital ethics is nothing but it is a study of how to manage the oneself ethically or professionally or clinically through the manner of online and digital mediums. And every psychologist who uses the internet or a mobile phone, which amount we are nearly all of us to much look at some technical issues or some digital issues. There are some some certain part of issues such as there are some questions are raised below the digital ethics. There are some questions. So what can my clients find out about me on online, and it is ethical or not to me to Google my accounts. There are some questions raised below the digital ethics. Next we move on to the digital ethics part. Digital ethics are many formal definitions. There are commented the digital ethics. For example, it is otherwise also called as information ethics. There are commented that grabs the informations from that social media technological information. There are commented as the information ethics, and it is not an informal definition, it is a formal definition. It is a branch of ethics that only focus on the relationship that is between the creations and how to create organization and how to create a particular digital ethics and discriminations and how to use the information and how to approach moral codes that are governing human contact in society also. There are some purposes. What is the purpose of using the digital media? There are some protocols to be followed by the humans. There are some certain norms is to be approaches. There are some certain approaches, rules and regulation that is to be followed by the digital ethics. For example, it is digital activities such as increasing our reaching our social media and to the donor data to inform a fundraising company. It is nothing but the fundraising is a seeking of financial support for a charity cause or other enterprises that come under the fundraising companies. And there are some what are you expecting the digital media? What is the digital expectations? There are commented the following highlights. For example, this is also highlights the relationship between the digital and the security. For example, digital ethics that come under the ethics that are approaches with the digital medium, and it has some security also. From this imposed, there are some regulations, protocols, some restrictions like GDPR to how to store the personal data and how to secure the data, and that are come under the ethical obligation as well. And why is important? Why is it important in the form of digital ethics? It is a trust, it is a key, it is a concept to a charity sector because without trust, charity cannot exist and thrive. In this process only there are clear ethical standards is to be governed by the service, and it will deal with the service users, suppliers and partners and so on. And it is currently it is uploaded an ethical standard in order to earn the trust and support also. In the form of key areas, the digital ethics is the play important role in the future form of artificial intelligence denoted as a AI, and it is emerging technology, and it is fulfill our potential and for the good unless it gains the acceptance through the trust process. And next we move on to the what is mean by digital ethics and its privacy. Digital ethics means it consists of some protocols, some regulations, some rules, regulations through the process of digital media, social media. Privacy means it has some own thinking, some own thoughts, some own respectness that has come under the privacy. For example, we are uploading or we are installing an app from the Play Stores or whatever it may be. We can upload it or we can install app. In that app, first we move on to that app. There is a process of on screen, that is agree or disagree. In this process we have to put the agree process. That's only the app is to be open, and we are useful to apply, or we are useful to open this app only. For example, asking the permission to collect the data, and where to be collected, and where to be stored, and where to be secured, and it is a personal data or public data, and the data has to be stored in a particular data and a particular place also, and request the data to deleted or not, how to access the users, and how to access and stored and collect, that are come under the digital ethics and privacy also. Next we move on to the part of what does digital ethics focus on. What is the focus means, we have to concentrate, or we have to insight the formation of a digital ethics, while information ethics generally takes a critical view. There are some there are critical analysis or critical view or reflective thinking that will come under the use of information. That processing technological and digital ethics focus specifically on the moral limits. There are certain protocols, there are some moral limits that has to be followed by the users, partners, as well as the persons of human beings. The main theme of the relationship between the man and the machine, through the process of digital ethics that shapes the society, as well as the digital ethic technological also. Next we move on to the what is the main part of digital ethics. For example, there are how we treat one another as a human being, as an online an ethical person. The online environment will have a fundamental respect also for the anatomy, and we have the dignity of others who are all online, and we got all the respects and energetically as she got her own also. And we move on to the what does digital ethical mean. It is a field of study. It is nothing but it is a field of study. It is concerned with the way of technology, and is to be shaping and will shaping our political thought also, and social properties, and also moral extensions that come under the digital ethics means. And next we move on to the elements of ethics. Elements of ethics is nothing but it is a dedications. We have a strong work on that. We have the every aspects of a business, and how to behave yourself as a dedication manner. And professionalism means we have our own way of a professional way with a strong ethics and dependability, accountability, and gratitude that are come under the elements of ethics. And next we move on to the diagrammatic representations of the elements of digital ethics. First, organization, mission, society, environment, supervision, human, that are come under more than 20 elements that are come under the digital ethics. Next we move on to the principles of informative ethics. Informative ethics is nothing but it is also called as the digital ethics. It only deals with the behavior that are required in the how to handle the data, and how to grasp the information, and how to produce information that are come under the informative ethics. There are so many principles. First we move on to the privacy, openness, security, and how to assess that, and how to legitimate infringement and leach alternatives, and accountability that are come under them principles of informative ethics. Next we move on to the types of technological and ethics. This technological ethics or the principle that how to be used government technology, that also including the risk factors, how to manage that, and how to individually we have the rights to overcome the risk factor management. There are some technological ethics. First we move on to the assessors rights. Assessors rights is nothing but it is a empowering technology as a right or a freedom, that is called as the assessors rights. And accountability, it is nothing but the decisions are made by the technology is accountability. Next one, digital rights, it is nothing but that is a protection of intellectual ability to the property, that have rights and privacy, personality, as well as the rights that come under the digital rights. Next we move on to the environment. Environment or nothing but it is governed by the intelligence of technologies, and that how to be potential to damage the shared resources that come under the environment. And existential is nothing but it is a quality of life and how is to be extension or advanced life of on earth, and freedom, that is some we have some freedom through the process of technology. In this technology we provide tools that has to be monitor and how to be control the societies, raising broad questions related to the freedom also. And next we move on to the health and safety. Health and safety, it is nothing but it has a risk that is possessed by only the knowledge only, and that human judgment, it is nothing but human machine integration form is come under the human judgment. And next we move on to the over automation process. It is nothing but it is decrease the quality of a life, that is come under the over automations. And the privacy part also, we have the privacy, we have the certain protocols, certain norms, certain regulation, and that are protection of a privacy rights that come under the privacy. And security means this is nothing but it is required to them ensure the information security, that's come under the security process. And next we move on to the self modifying process. Self means ourself, and modify means we have to modify, and technology means in the digital media how to unpredictably nature of certain types of artificial intelligence, that is denoted as a AI, such as a recursive self improvement. We have to improvement ourselves by the process of digital medium. And that is a technological precautionary principle. Precautionary principle, it is nothing but it has who decides the new technology, how to is to be safe, it is unsafe or safe, that are come under the process of precautionary principle. And self-replicated, self means ourself, and replication means through the process of repetitions, replicating systems likes to begin the new approaches that are come under the self-replication process. And the technological predictability means it is come under the algorithms and the artificial intelligence, that human that may have a largely unpredictable and cryptic. For example, how to organize and how to implement the technology, and how to understand the technology for the process of technological predictability. And next we move on to the technological proliferation. It is nothing but it is a multiplication process, and how to multiply and how to spread the new technological through the process of digital information. Next we move on to the process of technological transparency. Technological transparency or nothing but it does clearly explain the technology works without the data, and what data it collect from, and what it should be stored, and where should be collected, that are come under the form of technology transparency. And it is nothing but it is safety tips we have to follow through the process of using the digital media. And in the process of digital media, use website filter, and don't sharing your personal information through the online. And meeting stranger you meet online can be hazardous also. And don't posting your inappropriate messages also, images and videos that are come under the internet safety tips also. Next we move on to the thank you so much. I hope you all understand my digital ethics. Thank you so much.